15 years ago, a man named Cody Miller attempted to speedrun Halo Combat Evolved on Legendary at a charity event. The attempt was so bad the organization hosting the event created the Halo rule, which allows them to mercy kill a run if they think it's going too poorly. My name is Sir Nancy Dorp, and I'm here today to see if I can beat Halo Combat Evolved before Cody Miller does. Before we begin, I want to preface this with giving you an idea of just who Miller was. He was a decent editor back in the day who lied about having beat different Halo games in certain amounts of time. Using footage splicing, he actually got a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records for beating Halo 2 on Legendary without dying in 3 hours. While this feat would genuinely be accomplished by another speedrunner named Mr. Monopoly, who also cut off over an entire hour of time, back then this was considered completely impossible, and there's almost certainly no way Cody ever came close to really doing that. In 2011, Cody was invited to play at the charity event Games Done Quick. He stated he could beat the game in under 2 hours on Legendary. His final time was 4 hours, 17 minutes, and 6 seconds. There's another YouTuber and speedrunner named FrogArchist who did a deep dive into this specific run and why it was so bad. If you're interested in learning more about it, I would heavily recommend checking that video out, and I'll be sure to leave a link in the description. Also, just go check FrogArchist out in general. He has all kinds of great videos and doesn't just speedrun games he's played for his whole life. He does some blind runs too that I think are really entertaining to watch. For this video, we're just going to be focusing on one major aspect of Miller's run, which was him lowering the difficulty 2 separate times. As for me, I'm a fairly casual gamer. That's not to say I don't challenge myself, but I've also never been big into speedrunning. I like to take my time in games and really explore every detail I can. When it comes to Halo though, I did grow up playing Combat Evolved, and I also previously obtained the Goat Roped achievement for the Master Chief Collection. The Goat Roped achievement is a bit misleading. The requirement for it is stated to be beating Combat Evolved on Legendary in under 3 hours, but there's a big caveat here that separates me from real speedrunners. Instead of doing the whole game in one run, the achievement tracks your best time in each level separately. So let's say I get a good time and then I come back and get a worse one. The game just ignores that and keeps my personal best until I beat that. Essentially, the Master Chief Collection splices your best times for you, which is also basically what Cody did. In theory, I could technically beat his time without even needing to make this video, but I had never before attempted to speedrun this game in one sitting, and I wanted to try. Now the thing is, I have a lot of experience playing Combat Evolved, so I wanted to balance things out. To make things more fair, I'm not going to skip cutscenes, and I'm going to include however much time might be eaten up by my load times and or game crashes. But once I reach the points where Cody turned the difficulty down, I am giving myself the option to do the same. One final side note, a lot of runners usually have a nice looking timer sitting in the corner of their footage, but I didn't feel like looking into how to set that up, so I just timed myself using my phone and hitting the new lap button every time I beat a level. I did, however, turn on the Master Chief Collection's built-in timer, so you can still get a vague idea of what my time for each level will be. It just won't be super accurate because it doesn't account for cutscenes, and if the game crashes, the timer reverts to where it was on my most recent checkpoint. Now let's get started. Alright, combat... Immediately get hit with an advertisement. Why? How about you just let me play the game? Finally about to play the game here. It's been about 5.5 minutes. Starting up level 1 the Pillar of Autumn, I ran out of the cryo room and straight to Captain Keyes before he handed me a gun and told me to get off the ship. Alright, I've never actually tried this before, but I've seen people just gun it this way and just run past the enemies that come in here. Okay, that didn't work. Maybe I didn't do it right? I don't know. I tried going through the door on the other side of the cafeteria, and this time I made it through and grabbed some overshields. Oh, that was good. That was huge. I don't even know what that guy was doing there. But the little look he gave me before I ended his life was tragic. The first speedrun trick I know of involves a grenade jump to avoid having to walk up a second staircase and fight additional enemies. Grenade jumping in Halo is fairly simple. It just involves jumping at the right moment to have the blast of the grenade amplify your movement in whichever direction you're headed, which in turn can allow you to reach areas you're not supposed to with normal movement. Usually I walk up the staircase normally, but after grabbing more overshields, I decided it might be beneficial to at least try this trick. A bar of overshield left still. I'm hurting, but I think I made it. I feel like this is going tremendously well. Like, for having not practiced this at all,
The life pods are launching. We should
I feel like this could be a lot worse right now. I did have a few more close calls in this level, but I didn't end up dying again. One thing Miller did a lot of in his run was die, so I thought it might be fun to keep track of my deaths and tally them all up at the end of each level. Okay, you know, we're not going to talk about that one. So by the game standards, that was 10 minutes. By my standards, it's going to end up being about 19 and a half. With this cutscene. My final real time was 19 minutes and 56 seconds with 1 death. Not bad, but even if I was measuring with the in-game timer, I was still behind Miller's time and I would need to pick up the pace a bit in order to catch up. Starting the second level Halo, I crashed on the ring and left the escape pod to try another speedrun trick. This one is just a simple grenade jump, but for the life of me, I cannot ever seem to pull it off correctly. There are other tricks in this game that are genuinely more difficult to do that I have done before, but for whatever reason, I cannot seem to get this one. After 3 attempts, I gave up and went on my merry way. The first group of Marines has a few different strategies. One strategy is to just keep walking and grenade jump over a spot where you're supposed to have the Warthog. I have done that before, but it's not a strategy I like. Instead, I like to play this section normally and get the Warthog because it feels faster to me, but also because I'll use it in the next area to skip a good chunk of fighting. There's a third option here where you kill the Marines yourself to skip one of the drop ships, but I felt like that wouldn't be worth it, and I wanted to have a soldier in the passenger seat. You'll soon see that this was not a good enough reason to leave the Marines alive. That's unfortunate. Oh, but that's really good. Oh, that's amazing. I'm not going to finish him off because I'm stupid. I had my first death of the level because I forgot which side of the dropship the elites come out of, but I didn't have any other issues in this section. Got the Warthog with the passenger who was on his last everything and stopped to look at a needler. How did that get all the way out here? In the cave that isn't a natural formation, I drove up to a wall and got out to use the Warthog as a stepping stool. There's another entrance to this walkway that is heavily guarded, so by bypassing that, I saved myself a nice bit of time while also skipping a small cutscene that shows the bridge materializing. How did we lose the gunner and not the passenger? Driving over the bridge, I started the second half of this level. If you kill the Marines yourself, it actually counts the area as complete and you're told to go to the next one. So whichever first 2 sections you go to first, it is sort of good to just go ahead and take out whatever Marines you come across. What is my melee? What is my... Okay, I swear I tried right bumper like a million times and it didn't work, so I was getting confused. I killed the Marines in the basement of the first area before heading to the next one where I earned my second death. Oh my god, he sniped me out of the car. You can do the later half of this level in any order you want, but the last area you stop at needs to be fully cleared out. I wanted to do this hill because to me it seems to have less enemies. In hindsight, this may not have been the best idea because here I received my 3rd death for this level while also wasting a ton of time slowly killing the enemies. Oh my god, don't you dare. Don't you freaking dare. No, the freaking Marine! Okay, yeah, you're going down. Thank you. So are you. No. Oh my god, my car tried to kill me. The car ran over him. I did that on purpose. I blew up the car into him on purpose. If there's any level that Cody Miller has a better time on me, it's probably going to be this one. But I did do it on Legendary, so Cody Miller can't say he did that. Turns out I was dead wrong though. My final time for level 2 was 26 minutes and 43 seconds with 3 deaths. I felt bad about this time and I know for a fact I could have done things better, but somehow I still beat Cody by 7.5 minutes. Keep in mind, he had to turn the difficulty down for that level. I won't make fun of Cody too much though because I followed suit and went down to Heroic before starting level 3, the Truth and Reconciliation. If Miller's time was done fully on Legendary, I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't be able to beat him even if I was skipping cutscenes. Lowering the difficulty is really what's going to give me a chance here. I made it through the first area without any issues before hitting a few speed bumps in the following section. Oh my god, that should have been it. Can you get off of me? My god. Oh my gosh. This guy! How is there... I don't know how there's a grunt behind me when there's literally not one there the entire freaking whole section, but okay. We'll spawn one in behind me to give me an extra problem, I guess. I'm a little salty about that one. If you can't tell, I was getting a little annoyed there, but after getting through, I ran to an active camo sitting on the left side of this area here, and I snuck through to the gravity lift while taking out a few enemies along the way. After fighting off a few waves at the gravity lift, I had my first encounter with hunters before making it into the ship. Shots on these guys. I can't hit him for the life of me. There we go. There's one. There's the other. Sweet. On the Covenant Cruiser, I fought a few waves of enemies before picking up another active camo to sneak through a room. Skipping through here is a little bit of luck to it. The enemies can spawn in different locations, and if there isn't one near that door, it won't be open, so you have to fight at least a few opponents. I usually don't have that door already open, so seeing it ready to go had me feeling a little lucky. Oh, how wrong I was. After a few hallways, I made it to the hangar room. Here, there are a variety of grenade jumps you can perform to skip past a lot of fighting and also despawn enemies for the rest of the room. Better yet, it also skips past a final fight at the end of the mission, so I really wanted to do this. I only know how to do the most basic jump, and I promise I have pulled it off before, but you probably wouldn't think that watching my following attempts. That's the wrong type of grenade. There. Okay. That felt good though. Right there. Oh, that felt good. Look how close I got that time, dude. I don't understand. There. Okay, that's gotta be what. Okay. There. And then one here. Nope, they wait. In total, I wasted around 10 minutes attempting to pull this off, and by that point I was getting irritated, so I did the rest of the mission normally. There isn't a whole lot to show here. I made it to the empty brig, stole another active camo, assassinated the elites in the second brig, freed Captain Keyes, and finished the level without any hiccups. My final time was 40 minutes and 58 seconds with only those 2 deaths from the start. Cody may have been slightly faster than me here, but from what I remember, he only attempted a grenade jump 2 or 3 times before giving up. Either way, I was going to need to lock in to make up for the time I wasted. I feel like so many speedrunners are gonna hate my strategy for this, because I am not planning to do the warthog fling. I think I've tried that for hours before and only had it work one time. So landing on the beach, I booked it in the opposite direction and ran towards the button I wanted to get to. I don't know how he took so many bullets. That was a bad idea. Let's grab this health pack before we lose. What? In case it wasn't clear, I was locked in. On this level, there's a trick you can do where you take a warthog and drive it into the base and fling yourself through the door before the Covenant can lock you out. As you probably heard me mention earlier, I've only accomplished this one time and it took me a while to do it. To Cody Miller's credit, this is one of the few things he actually did manage to do, and he did it in 5 attempts. What I did instead was head straight to the button that unlocks the door, where I have the option to hit the button to prevent them from locking me out at all. Oh, they're still fighting on the beach here. Oh, that's supposed to stop that from playing. Hang on. I was shooting. From this platform, you can do 2 different drops to skip going down the normal way, and you can reach the map room from the back entrance. From this point forward, there isn't a whole lot to show, but I used an active camo to sneak past a good amount of Covenant before I reached this final room where I decided to stop and clear out a few enemies. Okay, get me in here. We've got cover. Oh, hi. Now we got covered. I killed the gold elite before exiting the structure, where I had my closest call for the entire level. Make a break for it. Go, 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 go. Haha! I win! Let's get moving. Alright, that feels good. That's gonna get me at about 12 minutes for that level. Yes, you can do it way faster. I can't though, so. My final time for the Silent Cartographer was 12 minutes and 24 seconds with no deaths. Cody did beat me on this level too, but both our times are diabolically bad compared to speedrunning standards. Even Miller's time is over twice as long as the record for this level. Despite technically being slower for 3 of the levels so far, I was about to catch up. The 5th level, Assault on the Control Room, has a big skip. After the first 2 rooms, you come out from a hallway onto an outdoor bridge. From here, you can do a trick called Bridge Fall, where you tactically fall from 2 different points in order to prematurely end up in a part of the level you're not supposed to be in yet. Doing this breaks the spawning for the remainder of the level and allows you to progress completely unchallenged. This took me a few tries, which I'll allow you to watch now. Oh my god, I'm down. Oh, thank God. Okay, I was about to lose my mind trying to do that trick. I did a speedrun trick, okay? I did one. Even though it took some time, I did manage to accomplish this trick, which is more than I can say for Cody. We both attempted this about the same amount of times. I did this on my 22nd attempt. However, I will give him some credit. He completed the first part of Bridge Fall way more frequently than I did. I think what set us apart here was that Cody kept going down to the left every time he made it down to the first part. Meanwhile, I went on to the right side of the wall. As far as I know, there is no safe way to drop down and go left, but I could be wrong. With the enemies despawned, there isn't much more to show outside of these two things. Would it be quicker to just get out and walk at this point with all this ice? I really don't know. I'm gonna say yes, because I mean, I'm gonna have to get out right. I almost ran myself over with the warthog. Okay, I know how to do this. The problem is, it is a little risky. I could fall off, and I haven't gotten a checkpoint in a bit. But it's worth it. Look at me go. Saving a whole bunch of time skipping over that bridge part. My final time for Assault on the Control Room was 23 minutes, 25 seconds with 21 deaths. That might not seem great, but it was going to help me catch up a ton since it was less than half of Miller's final time. One level I felt very confident on was the 6th level called 343 Guilty Spark. The second part of this level is notorious for being easy to get lost in, but I've managed to memorize the path out on the lower difficulties. I say lower difficulties because on Legendary you're forced to take a slightly different path. That's a plasma pistol. I will want that. Nope. Oh, I thought I dropped my Magnum for a second. Don't want to drop the Magnum. Never do that. That is something that somebody would do if they had never played Halo before. Check this out. Right back down. I'll probably just saved a whole 30 seconds doing that. Maybe. Not really. Only thing about this, though, is that I do have to watch that whole cutscene for the reveal. That's going to take a little bit. The first part of this level is really just a lot of walking past stuff, so I made it to the reveal room where I found out there's a whole other faction in this game before fighting the Flood. Similarly, the second part is really just a lot more walking past stuff. Because these rooms are so closed in, you don't really have to do any fighting, and as long as you can run and gun, there's really no threat. I know there's a way to get an overshield. I went the wrong way. Okay. I was facing the wrong direction for that. Oh, actually, do you even need the... Oh, you don't even need to, like, jump off the elevator. You can just walk up to that. I did not know that. There's a small skip you can do with 2 well-timed crouch jumps here, but I can't time them that well, and in all reality, it only saves maybe 20 seconds on heroic. I made it out of the containment facility, met up with the last group of Marines, and then embarked on a small journey out into the swamp before finishing the level with a time of 15 minutes, 55 seconds, and no deaths. This level and the last one were big wins for me, but I would need to keep moving quickly if I wanted to beat Cody. Before I moved on to the library, I switched the difficulty down to normal. I had been hoping to do this level on heroic as well, but I didn't feel confident enough with my current time, so this time I chose to switch down at the same time that Miller did. The good part about this level is right away you can do a small trick. Although, do I just crouch jump? Well, now I can't do any kind of jump. That was a waste of time. While I was doing this, I only remembered how to do it and not what it actually did. But essentially, by getting Guilty Spark to move forward and doing a grenade jump onto this box, I can then crouch jump over this wall. Going around the wall, I can enter the area I was supposed to go to from the other side, and this tells Guilty Spark to move forward. Doing this trick despawns enemies for the next room, so while it may not have saved me a ton of time, it at least made things a little easier to start off. Personally, I honestly don't find the library as difficult as many other people seem to. Truth be told, it's just a lot of running forward and shooting at whatever is closest to you. You have a shotgun? Yeah, you just dropped one. Sweet. Give me that. Oh boy. Right here? Yeah. Look at them all pile up for that. Watch this. Boom. Once I made it to the second floor though, my Xbox decided to do something neat. Oh. Alright. I think my game crashed. Hopefully it saved that checkpoint. We lost like maybe 30 seconds from that. This level has 2 of these rooms where you're supposed to walk around this circle, but if you go closer to the edge, you can crouch jump over these ramps and avoid some enemies. Ooh, I forgot about him. Another good chunk of this level is just holding your ground while you wait for Guilty Spark to open a door, but in this particular room, you can just sit behind this ramp and wait, which is what I did. Riveting gameplay, I know. That's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff blowing up. The last trick I know for this level is just a simple grenade jump to go through a door and avoid a small amount of flood. The rest of this level is pretty normal, nothing super special to show. My final time was 21 minutes 46 seconds with no deaths. I may have beaten Miller's time for 3 levels in a row now, but I was about to experience the biggest setback of this entire run. I did not want this. I can't get my other gun back. I don't even know where it went. I think I remember how to do this. If I did that right, it should stop some of these from spawning. He's still here. That's okay. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the other ones didn't spawn in. I think I did that right. 2 Betrayals has a trick near the start of the level where you can prevent some enemies from spawning in. I managed to pull this off successfully and retrieve the Banshee at the bottom of the structure here, but doing this trick requires you to reactivate the triggers for this area because they're tied into the way you're supposed to progress. I forgot to reactivate these triggers at first and wasted about a minute before fixing it and continuing through the level as usual. Oh boy, get out of that, get out of that. Okay, we're fine. I want one of those. Don't bring it over here, maniac! And this was the moment everything went wrong. Didn't see it? Don't worry, I didn't see it yet either. The room I'm entering is notorious because it's closed in and contains a flood combat form loading a rocket launcher. The thing is, these flood only have the goal of killing the player, even if it means they kill themselves in the process. Since they have a rocket launcher, this makes them incredibly dangerous at close range. A lot of people don't know this. There's actually a tried and true method. Yeah. Oh, no way! So yeah, I was supposed to get a checkpoint when I'd gone through that hallway earlier. For one reason or another, the game didn't give it to me, which reset me back to before I crossed the first bridge. I was pretty mad about losing so much time, so I decided to use the crouch jump trick I used earlier to get over to the other bridge in order to bypass the Covenant on the bridge I'm supposed to be on. He looked more disappointed than anything else, just looking back at me. I think he was sad that I chose to stick him. You know what I mean. Oh, are we kidding? I'm actually losing time to the dumbest crap right now. The problem with this is, something about walking over this bridge with a flood not jumping over causes the game to break. And break hard it did, because the door I needed to go through wouldn't open. And now I have a checkpoint. Did I just soft lock myself from beating the level? Because that's a pretty horrible thing to do during a speedrun. So that's a massive loss of time. I was 16 minutes in at this point. Soft locking myself on this level was the biggest mistake I made for the entire run, and in total it cost me 16 minutes and 39 seconds.
However, Starship's fusion reactors going critical would do the job. I'm going to search what's left of the Covenant battlenet to see if I can locate the Pillar of Autumn's crash site. If the ship's fusion reactors are still relatively intact, we can use them to destroy Halo.
Okay, that was like the smoothest I've ever done that in my entire life. Restarting the level this time, I wasn't able to pull off the despawn trick, and I earned another death attempting to get the Banshee. That wasn't horrible. It took us like 9 minutes to get back here. Checkpoint. I saw a checkpoint. We're good. Let's go. Okay. That was obnoxious. I need to get in here early. So we can do that. Get out the way. Okay. Threat neutralized. Let's keep going. God. Still no checkpoint, by the way. Get away from me. Okay, we're fine. Maybe. Everything's blowing up right now. This is a horrible spot to... Whoa, my God. Jesus. Okay. We have grenades, right? Where am I? Are you kidding me? I didn't get a single checkpoint? After all the enemies I killed, you didn't give me a single checkpoint. Jesus. I still didn't even kill the guy with the rocket launcher. This was probably the most trouble I'd ever had with this part of the level, but after finally making it over the bridges, I wouldn't hit another roadblock like this for the remainder of the level. I did die one more time, but I had a checkpoint from just before that happened, and I was able to get through the level without any more hiccups. At this point, my younger brother Gabriel walked in and hung out with me while I kept on going. This is like the hardest part of the game here, is trying to get the Banshee before it gets blown up. That was really early. I might be okay. Wow. I really messed that up and got away with it still. Combining my softlock time with my final full time, 2 Betrayals ended up taking me 42 minutes and 20 seconds with 6 deaths. Miraculously, I still managed to beat Cody's time, even if only by a few seconds. Once I got to this point in producing the video, I decided to put on the full video of Miller's speedrun, which I had never watched before. I don't feel like, nor do I have the storage space to sift through 4 hours of footage, but while playing 343 Guilty Spark, Cody awkwardly asked if he could finish his run later. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that that isn't allowed. The penultimate mission, simply called Keys, has 2 methods for skipping 95% of the level. One of these tricks is called Shield Bump. By using a pixel-perfect placement, you can bump yourself out of bounds, jump into some specific spots, and land back in bounds in an area you're not supposed to be in yet. I have only ever accomplished this trick once in my life, and it took several hours. Another trick called Flood Bump gets the same result but has an easier method. I've done this one a few times, but it had been a while and I wasn't sure if I was doing it right. Oh, he did get back up, but I wasn't in the right spot. After a few attempts, I gave up because I wasn't being consistent and decided it would likely be just as fast to do the level normally.
Already have gone critical.
Blow that up. Oh my gosh. He went flying. A few years ago, I did a video where I played through Combat Evolved 10 times over, and doing that gave me a lot of experience for running this level the way you're supposed to. You should go check that video out, by the way. I worked really hard on it. In any case, I wasn't worried because for the most part, I knew what I was doing. This is gonna hurt. What am I standing on top of right now? Stay away. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I survived that crap. Holy crap. That was so dumb.
Oh my god.
And I'm holding X. I should be able to climb into Banshee without taking damage.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Holy crap, I still took damage, but I'm good. My final time for Keys was 22 minutes and 9 seconds with 2 deaths. This time wasn't great compared to Cody, so this was going to put us neck and neck for the final level. Time was running out. Any missteps would result in giving Cody the win. I needed to make every move count. Let's see if I can walk it. Whoa, hi there.
Okay.
Alright, you ready for this epic fight between these 4 sentinels? Alright, here we go. In the reactor room, if you move back and forth between each side of the room, you despawn the sentinels, which gives you less enemies to fight. Oh, wow. You're actually kidding with that. With the reactors blown up, it was time for the Warthog run to take me to sweet victory or bitter defeat.
Good thing that food nipple's waiting for me at the starship, cause man, if I worked up a big, grunty thirst.
Flying away from the Halo ring, my final time for the mall was 19 minutes and 51 seconds.
We had no choice.
Halo 2 doesn't even come close to you.
Okay.
It's finished.
That's some shadow tier rage bait right there. So, how did I do? Let's start from the beginning and we'll add up my time alongside Cody's. Miller took an early lead with the Pillar of Autumn, gaining well over 10 minutes on me. A big reason for this was of course the cutscenes I had to sit through, but I will be honest, even negating the cutscenes, Cody did have a faster time than me here, and that's okay, he can have this one. Despite playing on Legendary while Cody slipped down to Heroic, I pulled out a better time which allowed me to catch up quite a bit. The big thing for Miller here was that at the very first group of Marines, he just didn't really play well at all. He died to a lot of basic things and could have avoided a lot of headache by just playing in a more intelligent way. Miller did beat me just ever so slightly on the Truth and Reconciliation, however this was largely in part because I made several more attempts at the grenade jump than he did. Had I given up a little sooner, this would have been a victory for me here. Cody will also take the W on the Silent Cartographer, and here again I have no excuse. Cody did the Warthog fling, I didn't. But again, Cody can have this one. Assault on the Control Room was where things really turned around for me. Miller abandoning the bridge fall trick put a huge gap between us. Watching him fight his way through this level, it seemed apparent he was used to playing it normally, which I found fairly odd, because it seemed like he was trying to imply it was a situation he was forced into when he easily could have just kept trying. Also, when I say it seemed he was used to playing it normally, I only mean he was using strategies you would need to use playing it normally. He was still getting himself killed a ton. Miller's unfamiliarity with the following level would be his undoing, because even though I had to watch the long reveal cutscene, I still beat him here by about 5 minutes. He got lost a ton and I didn't. That's really about the gist of it. I beat Cody by about 3 minutes on the library, no surprise there. Had my game not crashed, it probably would have been by a little bit more, and I could have just not messed up the trick at the start too. In spite of all the setbacks I encountered on 2 Betrayals, I still pulled out a slightly better time than Miller did. I really don't know what more I could have done for the guy here. I softlocked myself and watched the long exposition cutscene at the start. Both times. Cody did do keys quite faster than I did, so I'll commend him for that. I'm pretty good at keys, and even if I had ignored trying to do the flood bump, it still would have been pretty close between us. And finally, the mall. Miller technically beat me here too, but I'd like to think that that's only because of the cutscenes once again. Had I not stopped to watch those, it would be a lot closer. And there you have it, folks. My final time was 4 hours, 5 minutes, and 27 seconds, beating Cody Miller by a little over 10 minutes. I also died 36 times. I didn't tally up Cody's deaths because I can't count that high, but I'm confident I didn't even die half as much as he did. I tried to make this as fair as possible, and I think I succeeded. Watching the full run, it's apparent that Cody quite simply just hadn't played the game in a long time. I really don't know what he was thinking by participating in this event, because it was a huge step forward in uncovering all the records he faked. I won't tell you he's the worst I've ever seen, but by speedrunning standards, this was absolutely atrocious. That isn't to say Miller never did anything impressive. He did do a speedrun the following year for Halo Reach, where he did stay on legendary difficulty, and while his time still wasn't ideal, it was by no means as embarrassing as this. It is a shame he felt the need to lie about so many records, because this did do some damage to Halo's speedrunning community for a short period of time. Suck it, Cody!
Nice.
If you like this video, be sure to check out Frog Arcus because he does way more impressive stuff than what I did today. This really isn't my typical style for my videos, but if people want to see more, I'd be interested in looking into doing other challenges like this. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.